Hello, everybody. Therealhubbabubbamax here. We are back with Beavers franchise. Disappointing end to the season, but we're going to look at our stats of our very successful year. Josh Robbins, almost 3,500 yards, 29 touchdowns, 1,000 yards rushing. Unbelievable. Tyson Thompson had an okay year. Adrian Ford kind of came on late, but not great. Javon Baker, Marcus Colson, and Rashawn Woodson made up the bulk of our receiving game. Tony Stanley a little bit, but it's pretty much only the three guys and Tony Stanley mixed in sometimes. Kurt Colley had like 50 less tackles than he did last year, but still led the team. Sacks, Gus Lincoln and Sergio Jarvis, as well as Nick Hendricks had five sacks. Gabe Winters only had two last year. Very disappointing. Byron Willie had four picks. Parrish and Barber with three. So, we had a few good defensive stats, I guess. It was pretty bad all around. See, we had a few fumbles, but I actually had a few defensive touchdowns too, I believe. Yeah. Lewis, Holly, and Poole, and then two pick sixes for Barber in the playoffs. But, defense is going to change a lot this year because it was awful last year. Tom Brady led the league in passing. Josh Robbins not too far behind him, but Brady almost with a 4,000 yard season, which is pretty common in today's NFL, but not back in 2006. Is Josh McCown with 34 interceptions. You gotta be kidding me. And Cameron Sarah, the quarterback we almost took, had 28, so that's no good. Rudy Johnson with a 2,000 yard season. Good for him, as he also led the league in touchdowns. I think he had a huge game against us. It's hard to go back to all the times running backs have had great games against us. As you can see right here, Randy Moss did in fact win the Triple Crown right here. Touchdowns, yards, 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns, almost 100 receptions. Awesome player. As pair him up with Tom Brady, just like in real life, is Andy McComas. It was the ninth pick in last year's draft, led the league in sacks this year, so that's pretty exciting. Merriman also had 16 sacks. Interceptions leader's going to be Mike Doss of all people. Justin Miller had a good game, or a good year as well. As Brady James with 6 forced fumbles, Keith Bullock with 6 recoveries, and Antoine Edwards with touchdown leader. Mike Nugent made the most field goals, but he also missed a lot of them. So at least Sebastian Janikowski only missed 2 this year. They were 2 clutch ones, I'm pretty sure, but we'll take it. And Reddy Hodges once again led the league in punting average. Again, he'll never make a Pro Bowl because we don't punt the ball very often, but look at that. Josh Robbins is your MVP this year. Let's go. Finishing ahead of Michael Vick, who I think is going to contend with him a lot. He did win Offensive Player of the Year. So, too bad we didn't get both. Keith Bullock, good season right there. 107 tackles with 7 sacks and 3 picks. Josh Robbins again, Offensive Rookie of the Year. You can see Javon Baker finished second in that, so you love to see it. And Jim Morris Jr. does win Coach of the Year. Quick little rundown of all the Pro Bowlers for this year. And see, are we going to get another Kendall Simmons? Yes, we are. I don't think Kendall Simmons has ever missed a Pro Bowl except when he was with the Broncos in my last franchise. Unbelievable. But a lot of common names. There's a few rookies, and there is Josh Robbins. He was our only Pro Bowler this year, which, isn't that surprising, but it was a little surprising. We had 2 last year with Reggie Swinton and Mike Allstott, but, hopefully we can get some more next year, because that's probably what's going to lead us to a playoff win as well. So, hopefully we can. And see, we did finish 4th in the NFC. We were 10-6, and again, I don't think we would have made it if we lost that game in Week 17. So very happy about that. Quick little rundown of everyone. Buccaneers did finish worse than the conference. Bengals at 12-4. The NFC was more top heavy, but it looks like the AFC was a little more well balanced this year. And see, the worst team in the league was the Cleveland Browns once again, even though they had the bell of the ball quarterback who wasn't Josh Robbins. Here are the rest of the results. Steelers, Bills, and Packers would win their wildcard games. And then it would be Bengals, Falcons, Colts, and Seahawks. Man, the Falcons blew out the Bears after we lost to them. Colts and Falcons winning the conference championship, so it's going to be a Falcons Super Bowl right here. Mike Vick leads them, and we hope Josh Robbins, who is a very close player to him, also leads us to one. Joe Barry, your defense sucked. I should have realized that because that's what happened in real life. We're hiring Monty Kiffin. Hopefully it turns around. Can't get any worse than it was at least. At least you wouldn't hope so, and this one hurts. Nick Hendricks is going to announce his retirement. He gave us a lot of good years, a lot of sacks, and it's going to be sad to see him go. It really did break my heart when I saw this because I was fully planning on bringing him back. Ray Lewis is a career-ending injury. That's a brutal one. But he was getting up there in age, but still, bad way to go out. Derek Brooks, Rodney Harrison, Tom Nellen, Marvin Harrison's going to retire, Derek Mason, Mike Menner, Tiki Barber, Mike Allstott a year after we released him. See a few kickers right here, and Sam Madison. Sam Madison picked off a lot of passes in this series. Steve McNair as well is going to go. So, he was the only quarterback too, which is kind of weird, but, I'm sad about Nick Hendricks still. We're going to re-sign Derek Wimbush and Tyson Thompson. This is our free agency phase this year. Alfonso Bolton came on super strong with his kickoff return skills. Need him badly. And we're also going to trade away our our first round pick. This is in the trade for last year when we did get Josh Robbins. And Leonard Davis, you were a bust free agent signing for us, so you were out of here. You still could be good, so we're going to get a second rounder this year. Hopefully you can turn around there. Hopefully we can get a good player with that second round pick. Deshaun Mack really came on. Kyle Turley, he was good enough. He wasn't great, but he was fine. Josh Bull, we're going to run it back one more time. Again, more for sentimental reasons than good reasons, but that's how it goes. Michael Crane, he did have quite a few picks for us in this series, but he will be released. Rondé Barber will be bringing back, and he's going to be huge. Hopefully the age doesn't catch up to him too hard. Here's all the players we're going to get rid of. Mo Phillips, another sentimental one I kind of wanted to keep around, but he's useless. Reggie Kelly was kind of a bust at the end. Benny Sapp had a lot of tackles. I was hoping Wes Welker would turn to a good player. Warren Sapp was kind of a bust for us too. William Green's another sentimental one, but his production just fell right off a cliff. He might be decent with more production, but we need to go in a different direction this year. And yep, here is who we got in free agency. We got Dante Stallworth, huge speed, Philip Buchanan, Rocky Bernard. We got some good players this year. I tried to go after a couple others we didn't get. Frank Gore, please fix our running back issues. Chike Okafor. Again, we got a lot of defense in this year's free agency class because we need it bad. And see, quite a few switches. Jake Delhomme to Bills, Ferrier. The Bills were very active as well, the 49ers and Bengals. Those were big spenders in this year's free agency. As we will look at the quarterbacks in a second, bell of the ball. Jake Delhomme to the Bills, Roethlisberger to the Packers, Zomet McNabb to the Buccaneers, Charlie Frye to Vikings. And look at this trade. I have no clue why the Giants are giving us number 10 overall pick in division for this, but if you want to help your division rival out, go right ahead. We are accepting that. And we are picking John Hamm straight from the screen right to our safety room, and that means Tony Parrish, we no longer have room for you on this team. You had a good season for us, no doubt about it, but, we're going to get younger at that position, and he looks really good. So hopefully it turns out well for us, and see that 89 speed all over the field, so hopefully that helps us out. And see some of our other free agents, a couple of them are going to get released before the start of the year, but I hope we have some contributors in this class. It was really good for us last year, as the first pick in this year's draft was LaMarcus Ulrich out of BYU. It doesn't look great, but looks okay. Roger Jackson, again, he doesn't look very good for a number 2 overall pick, but good overall, so I guess we'll see what happens. Kevin Williams, though, looks amazing. I wish I could have had him. That is a game-changing speed right there. Pretty good hands as well. Unbelievable. Brent Lott. he looks like he could be okay. Maybe he'll finally fix the Raiders, who have drafted quite a few quarterbacks in this series. And Jamarcus Grant, another speed freak. Good hands as well. This guy's going to be a really good player. Again, I just wish I had all these guys. Mike Vrabel didn't get signed. Just like in real life after my Titans got rid of him. But Craig Green, this was a kind of surprising one. The 15th overall pick just wasn't signed by his team. That just happened in this game for some reason. And we also got a pretty high pick. An 80 overall cornerback who looks pretty decent was the second round pick. And we're going to go ahead and get him back. Kosey Coleman, who was also on our team, we're going to get back. So hopefully he's actually not terrible for us this time. We're going to get a few of our players up. James Davis, he looks pretty fast. Hopefully that helps our linebacking issues. Because we have a lot of them, if you couldn't see it last year. This year's schedule, I'm going to start against the Panthers this year, and then the franchise rematch against the Broncos. Yeah, we have a pretty good mix. We have a lot of home games in this season, so that should definitely help us out. So this is the projected depth chart. Could be some changes, but Frank Gore, you're going to start first. Adrian Ford on the sideline. Tyson Thompson, I don't know. He's always crept back up in the depth chart, so I guess we'll see what happens. Dante Stallworth and Marcus Colston, as well as Rashawn Woodson, Tony Stanley. This is the wide receiver core I'm excited about, so hopefully it happens. Javon Baker, and, the offensive line's pretty much unchanged. And by pretty much, I mean it's exactly what we ended the year with, so hopefully that keeps going on. Chike Okafor is going to take over for Jarvis. Gabe Winters, hopefully he can rebound this year. We're going to have Rocky Bernard, hopefully going to get us some good run-stopping prowess. New linebacking core besides Kurt Colley. We really need to upgrade that. Philip Buchanan, Rondé Barber, who again, 79 speed, but hopefully that's still enough. But it might Byron Willie might get his second cornerback spot back. Rashad Baker's going to the bench, as well as Deke Cooper and John Hamm. We'll start right there. And specialists also unchanged, but I think this team can go places. If the last team could go 10-6, this team can go and win a playoff game this year. That's the goal. We're going to go against a really good Panthers team, and this is going to be a very good barometer of where we are in this franchise. So hopefully next week we can get a huge week 1 win, and I hope to see you guys there, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.